I am so excited. We have some more phenomenal women coming to you today. So, look, we're going to get right in it. Go ahead and like, share, comment. Let me know where you're listening from. Let me know what platform you're listening from. Was it YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever it is? Let me know where you are from. So, look, we're not going to waste no time. We got the professional speaker, the world renowned herself, going to come to the stage with me, none other than Rhonda Wood, certified coach, speaker, international best-selling author, have shared the stage with so many different people. I don't want to tell her story. I want her to tell her story for you. So, Rhonda, where you are, come on to the stage.
Hey, how are you?
I am phenomenal. So, look, tell us a little bit about you, what you do, who you are, and all those amazing things.
Yes, ma'am. So my name is Dr. Rhonda M. Wood. I'm coming to you from the Washington, D.C. area near our nation's capital. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you so much, Angela, for the invitation. So I am an international mental health speaker. I'm a best-selling author, and I'm an advocate. And what I do is I literally travel around the world. I'm talking London, France, Belgium, you name it. I travel around the world and I help people to find strength in their story, to find compassion and empathy and heal out loud when it comes to mental health awareness.
I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So, look, let's get right into it. Let us know how you are making her story.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So let me first say this. It is Women's History Month. It is March 2024. And let me just say, women have come a long way. There was once a time when we weren't even allowed to do a lot of the things that we are doing today. So let me just give a shout out to a lot of women who are making history around the world. I'm talking women are shattering glass ceilings, women are breaking down boundaries, women are bringing their own chairs to the table. And the women in this group right here on this on your platform are making history as well. So I fit right into that. So what I do to make history is I am also around the world, literally going around the world and teaching women that it's okay to be your authentic self, to be you. If there are other women who are paving the way, then we owe it to society. We owe it to those who have gone before us, whose shoulders that we are standing on, and the paths that we are walking in that they have paved. We owe it to fall right in line to make history as well. So I'm making history by using my voice to help others and build up others. I am the first American radio host on a UK award-winning UK radio show. Yes, it's called Breaking the Silence. I'm the first American, so I am bridging the gap between the United States and helping people spread their stories to other countries. My last broadcast touched all 7 continents. So I'm super excited about that as well. And just, I love being able to step in countries that I have not yet, and reach people that I have not yet reached. To be able to teach them to use their voice and just women's empowerment in general. So that's how I'm making history. HerStory.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, while you are already on fire, let's give these women 3 tips from your point of view on how they can start their journey in making her story count.
Yes. So the first thing I think is so important, I think I mentioned it before, is it's so important to be your authentic self. Just be you. What we don't realize sometimes is that God created us to be unique on purpose, which means we don't have to copy, we don't have to compete, we don't have to compare, we don't have to covet any of those other C words. We don't have to do that because God gave us unique talents, abilities, gifts, skills, specialties, things that we can do with our hands tied behind our back, things that we can do blindfolded, things that we are so great at that it's effort, that it takes hardly no effort. It's effortless. And so because we have those gifts, we can use them to the best of our ability. And it's okay if someone else does it as well, does it well also. You know, there's a lot of great singers out there, but there's only one Whitney Houston, there's only one Anita Baker, and there's only one Patti LaBelle. They're all great, but they're all unique. And so being your authentic self is one of the best ways you can make history. Doing that thing that you do so well, as I think Maya Angelou would say, do that thing you do so well that people can't take their eyes off you. That's one of the ways in which we can make history. A second way is to do the thing that sets your soul on fire. Doing that thing that you are so passionate about. That's the thing that's going to bring you joy, and that's the thing that you are going to excel at. There were people who made HerStory because they sometimes they had to do what was unpopular and they had to do what was uncomfortable, but they did the thing that they were super incredibly passionate about. That might be speaking, that might be coaching, that might be writing, or it might be something that nobody else has heard of. Whatever it is, do that thing. And the third thing I would say is to share your gift, whatever that passion is, and then to be able to share it with other people. We are not meant to take our gifts and hide them. We are not meant to take them and keep them to ourselves. We are meant to share them with other people. You want to make history, be your authentic self, do the thing that sets your soul on fire, and then share your gifts with the world. A lot of people think that it's about money or it's about title or it's about prestige, and it's not. You do those three things and watch the impact that you'll make. Watch the generational wealth that you'll create. Watch the destiny that you will bring to the world. Watch how the world will change because of you and your leadership and your example. Those are the three ways in which we can make history, Angela. HerStory, excuse me.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So look, Rhonda, let the people know how to get in contact with you if they want to reach out to you.
Oh, yes. Well, that's easy. My brand is consistent, honey. My name is Dr. Rhonda M. Wood. My website is drrhondamwood.com. And my social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, X, you name it. It's like 10 of them. Guess what my handle is? Dr. Rhonda M. Wood. You can't forget it.
I love it. I love it. So look, y'all just heard from Dr. Rhonda Wood. If y'all just not coming in, y'all need to go ahead and like, share, comment, all those amazing things. Get some other women on the line so they can get some of this fire. We got some more phenomenal women. But look, I need you to go ahead and like, share, tag what I just said. Because, you know, sometimes we got to tell y'all what to do. So go ahead and like, share, comment, tag, share it in your DM, share it in your text message, share it on your profile, share it in your email. Just share, 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 share. Because y'all don't want to miss this. We are coming up with the next speaker, let the Miss Pivot herself, the none other than Dr. Michelle Cofer coming to the fire stage. Come on, honey. You.
Hey, Dr. Angela.
Well, you said Dr. Angela. Okay.
Oh, I'm prophesying. Listen, this is the season. Oh boy, listen. It's got your name on it. You're anointed for it. You're making a major impact.
That's been on the manifestation board for quite some time now. So go ahead and speak that thing. This is a
Amen. Well, listen, I believe it can be established. It's a young lady on the line. We were accidentally calling her doctor, and it manifested. So yeah. But thank you so much for having us, Girl on Fire.
Look, you are so welcome. So this is what I want you to. I want you to come on up to the forefront. Let the people know who you are, what you do, and all those amazing things that you offer women of wealth.
Well, I appreciate it. You guys, I'm Dr. Michelle IG-Cofer, affectionately known as the Pivoter, because I help families pivot to prosper. I am a wealth coach and strategist. I have, a background of hard knocks. Like so many people, we grow up, we don't have an affinity towards wealth. Nobody ever taught us, but I was fortunate and blessed to get around some incredible people in college who began to download and made me believe that I was a wealth builder. And as a result of that, I've gone on now to create a life for myself. I own my time and I show other people how to pivot to prosper. And that's how I'm making HerStory. I'm showing people who, didn't come from a whole lot, people who started with very humble beginnings, people that don't have a compass around how to drive their money, how to make their money grow, how to manifest money, and how to make that money continue to keep on going because it is currency. So I'm super excited because as a minister of the gospel, we don't oftentimes hear people preach about prosperity and wealth, but I'm showing people in the marketplace how to attain prosperity, from a practical place. So we can talk about it from the Bible, but there are certain things that we have to do if we're going to prosper. And I show people how to do that, essentially how to pivot to get to that place.
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. So look, while you're already in the vein, let's give the people 3 ways. I want to do you a little bit different. 3 ways that she can create her legacy from wealth and rewrite her story in whatever situation she in now.
Absolutely. For every sister that's wanting to write HerStory, the first thing you got to do is this principle I call visual acuity. You got to get extremely clear on where you want to go. See, the problem is most of us aren't able to get to our destined place because we can't see it. And so visual acuity is this thing I talk about that even if it's not in front of you, it's so minuscule, but you've got to see yourself at the end. And so when you develop a vision, almost like an eagle eye, when you develop this vision that you can see your life far off, it can manifest. I mean, even as a young girl, I remember standing on my grandmother's back porch with her big brim church hats and imagining I was on the yacht. Even as a little girl, growing up with a mom who was drug addicted, I imagined myself driving luxurious cars. And it's not about stuff, but what I want you to know is I was able to see myself outside of the situation that I lived in. So visual acuity is this thing that has to be developed within us because some of us can't see. The Bible says in Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision, make it plain, though it tarry, wait on it. But we don't write the vision. Visual acuity is your ability to write the vision in your mind before you behold the things in your hand. So you got to see yourself prosperous. You got to see yourself married, see yourself thriving, see yourself influential, see yourself making a global impact before it ever will happen. So that's point number one. The second thing is you've got to, as a woman, be clear on who am I trying to attract. So many of us get into business and we don't even know who we want. We try to identify, with everybody, but everyone has a niche. So you've got to say, if it's women, focus on women. If it's single women, focus on single women. If it's middle-aged women, if it's millennials, if it's a family, if it's couples, get very clear on that. So you define history when you figure out who is it that I want. And that could change. When I first got started in business, now almost 8 years ago, my niche was millennials. And as a result, I zeroed in, I talked their language, I marketed to them, and I was able to create over success stories for over 6 millennials, where some of them made anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000 to $500,000 from home. That was my niche. And as I began to evolve, now my niche is the woman. My niche is a girl boss in the marketplace who loves God, but she believes in collaboration. So my focus has shifted. And so now I'm looking to help those women pivot to prosper and make HerStory. The third thing that I would tell to any woman on the line tonight is, sis, you got to invest. That means you got to put some money out. So many of the things that I've learned along the way is a result of me sitting at the feet of somebody who was further ahead of me. And it wasn't free. See, many of us are inclined to have success, but we're afraid to sow into our success. We reap what we sow. And if you don't get out your wallet and you don't get out your credit card and you don't start paying for some of these things, you're not going to be able to go some places. There are some doors that you're destined to go behind, but it's just going to cost something to get through that, right? And so I think that as women, destined to make HerStory, we can't be selfish with the seed. God gives seed to the sower. And if you're thinking that everything you build in business is going to come free, because there's a lot of free resources. I mean, Angela, you share some incredible, powerful things for free. I give a lot of value. I'm a part of a network of women called Women of Wealth. We have a global movement. We give a lot of information for free, but sometimes, sister, you're going to have to pay for something. And so that would be the third essential tip that I would tell a woman, that you got to sometimes sow your way to go your way.
Listen. No, hold on. Let's just park right
I
there.
see some snaps in the class.
All right, let's just park right there for a second. I want you to really to expound on that. You said you
Absolutely.
got to sow your way
To go your way.
to go your way. Let's talk a little bit about the mindset. We're talking about women making history, women showing up in the world, women that are leaving a legacy for the next generation, right? We're talking about we don't want to pass down our financial hardship to the next generation, but we want to show up and show them how to get to where they want to go if they have a dream,
Yes.
if they have a plan.
Yes.
Let's talk about the mindsets, and you could be a woman, you on here now, you're listening from all over the world, right? So go ahead and I need every woman to hear this nugget. So go ahead and share, like, tag, comment, all those things. Get your pencil, get your pad, because we are in class, we are in session, we're making history, right? If success leaves clues, and what clues are you really following and applying to your life? We talking about women that's on this line that are doing some really big things that's earning more than five and six figures. Okay. So I want you to elaborate a little bit on that, Dr. Michelle, and
Yes.
your way to go your way. What have been the experience that you have had getting women, especially women of color, to invest in themselves?
Yeah. So one of the things is that, when we talk about sowing your way to go your way, you can start at a minimal level. Number one, you can purchase books, right? So much of the information that we need is at our disposal and it's in a book, but we're not inclined to read. So you got to sow into that, like at a minimal level, but also on a higher level, get into masterminds, get a coach, get around people who will pour into you. See, the success hack, y'all, is not you figuring it out by yourself. The success hack is paying for a coach who's already gone further ahead of you. So we've got to get comfortable with shifting our mind to know that it's okay that I got to give money. See, people always figure if I got to pay for it, it's not worth it. Well, no, if you got to pay for it, it is worth it. Because if you listen to any high level thought leader around wealth, they talk about you need skin in the game. If you don't invest money, you're not going to give it the energy. You're not going to focus on it. You're not going to, stay committed to it until it manifests. If there's no skin in the game, then you turn your back. That's why, we don't handle other people's business as well as we handle our own, right? So if I had your car, Angela, and I was driving, I'll probably run it in the ground, speeding and all of that. But if it's my car that I'm paying for, I'm going to be more gentle with it. And money has this principle that unlocks multiple things, but you got to understand that I have to be okay with releasing the money. I sow my way to go my way. So your seed is going to bring something up. If I want to manifest an apple tree, I've got to sow a seed that's an apple, and that will grow up and become an apple tree, which in turn begins to create a residual effect of creating more apples upon more apples upon more apples. So the seed that you sow today continues to grow. Y'all hear me? The seed that you sow today continues to grow. If I invest money in a personal development class, I now learned what I learned in that class, but that seed continues to go because I can teach what I learned in a mastermind to somebody else. And then they learn something from me and they teach it to somebody else. And so here we are on this path to prosperity, this path to growth and abundance. But it all started with one somebody that decided to sow a seed. I've been in classes where it was free, where it was $50, where it was $100. I've been in classes where it was $26,000. But the thing about it is we've got to be able to pay to play. And that's where, as women, you talked about us as melanated women, we're so afraid. If it requires money, it's a scam, right? And so we got to get our minds to understand that abundance is ours. We have to apply biblical principles. Sowing and reaping is a biblical principle. That's why you got worldly multimillionaires, because they believe in the principle. If you don't put something in the ground, nothing's coming out of the ground. If you harvest the seed and hold it in your hand, you suffocate it. It cannot grow. So if you don't sow, you won't go. If you don't sow, you won't go. You don't sow, you won't go.
I love it.
Pay to play.
I love it. Look, let's give it up for Dr. Michelle. Yes. Look, If you're just coming in, go ahead and please like, share, comment, all those amazing things. Go ahead and get your copy of the Her Fire magazine, Women Making Her Story, so you can get your physical copy of all these amazing women's stories and all the things that they have to offer to you. So look, we're going to hear from AnnLamar Johnson at this time.
Hey, Fire Girls. My name is AnnLamar Johnson, also known as Coach AJ, and I want to start by sharing a quote with you. Harriet Tubman said, "I freed 1,000 slaves, and I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves." What are you a slave to? This is why I coach, speak, and write around everything dealing with mindset mastery, because so many women are enslaved to their mindset and they don't even know it. Imagine what we as women could do if our mindsets were completely unchained from the things that try to suppress us. I want to give you 3 keys today that are going to help you make her story. Key number 1, fear is a natural emotion. Fear is meant to keep you from danger, but fear is not meant to keep you from your destiny. Make sure your fear is not being misguided. Key number 2, never, and I mean never, shrink back or dim your light to make someone else's brighter. God has called you to shine bright and to shine boldly. And number 3, forgive you. We extend forgiveness to everyone else, but we are so hard on ourselves. Your past is your past. Your past was not meant to break you. It was meant to build you. It has made you who you are today. It is okay to make mistakes. Forgive you. It's time for you to step up and shine bright and boldly and make her story.
So look, if you're just not coming in, go ahead and like, share, tag, comment, all those amazing things. We are having a great time tonight. Look, if you just happen by chance to catch us on replay, put a replay in the comment section. Where are you in the world? Are you in Chicago? Are you in Michigan? Are you in Dallas? Are you in Africa? Are you in Ghana? Are you in London? Where are you? I want to know where you're listening in from so that we can see how this video is reaching around the world. So look, we have another phenomenal woman that's going to close us out for this evening. Let's give Pamela Coleman come on to the stage.
Hello, everybody.
Woo! So let us know who you are, what you do, and all those amazing things.
Ooh, who am I? I am a mother, a teacher, author, mental health advocate, male mental health advocate.
I love it. I want to dive into that because sometimes our men are left in the cold while women are taking classes, getting coaches, hiring mentors. Let's just dive into what have been first of all, I want to know what was the motivation behind coming into serving men?
So my first book, I wrote about what I was going through as I grew up. And when I finished that book, I realized that I was a mental abuse survivor. So from there, you know how we always go to Google and we try to figure out what's wrong with us and we look for answers. As I was Googling what mental illness and abuse was, I saw that 60 of our African American males do not seek help. And from there, it just kind of took off. So I'm like, why won't the men get help? What's going on? And from there, I did my first men's mental health seminar last year here in Virginia. And it just, from there, just kind of, I'm slowly, nowhere close to my friend, Dr. Rhonda, but I'm slowly, going to different places. Like if I'm doing book events, then I set up, they have me speak or do a panel for, at the events. So that's how I ended up there. This year, instead of doing a seminar, I'm doing an anthology of Black men's mental health. So each gentleman has their own chapter, and they're telling their story, how mental health affects them or what they've gone through. So my seminar is in a book. So I'm doing a seminar in a book. So it'll always be on paper, can always go to different places.
I absolutely love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So look, let's give us 3 different ways on how a person with mental health, right? I want to make yours specific, that are facing mental health challenges, how they can make their story, rewrite their history in the mental health community.
For me, I've been asked a question, have you healed through writing? And my answer is, for me, I've not healed. I've improved, because we all have triggers. So for me, I would tell someone to just be open to someone that they're comfortable with, so that they can talk to about it. I didn't have anybody. So to put it on pen and paper, to get it out was, it was a relief for me to be comfortable, to find that one person. It doesn't have to be a whole bunch of people, but if you find that one person that you can talk to, or take pen to paper, just so you can start getting it out, that's what I would do.
I love it. I love it. So we already hear how you're making her story. Let's talk a little bit about your why, your purpose, what keeps you motivated in this journey. Because I know sometimes it can be very challenging. What is your go-to and how do you keep going?
So for me, and he's in here somewhere, my son has told me, and it stays with me, when it's no longer fun and you no longer enjoy what you're doing and it feels like a job, then you need to stop. So for me, when I realize that I'm helping people, if it's just one person, I don't have to have 20 people going, oh, this is great. If I reached one person, like Dr. Michelle said, if I reached one and planted one seed, then I felt like I've done something.
I absolutely love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so, so much. Dr. Michelle, Dr. Rhonda, do y'all have any last words y'all would like to share with everyone? Dr. Rhonda?
Yes, of course. Dr. Michelle and Pam, or Dr. Pam, I'm not sure, I might be prophetic. Hey, I don't know. That I thought what they shared was just amazing. I realized we are all connected because we kind of have that mental health component to our platforms. And so, listen, a lot of people think about mental health and they're like, oh my goodness, I don't want to think about that. We think therapy and mental health and all of that is a taboo word, and it's or bad word or dirty word. Listen, folks, mental health now more than ever, taking care of your mental health and your mental well-being, prioritizing it, protecting it, taking care of it is more important now more than ever before. We are just scratching the tip of the iceberg. There are so many people who are finally stepping out and saying, I need to prioritize me. About 6 years ago, I stepped away from my 25-year corporate America job. I made a lot of money, but it was at the cost of my mental well-being. It just wasn't worth it. And it was affecting my family. And let me tell you, as a woman trying to make HerStory, as a Black woman trying to find her footing in a world and in an environment where people did not look like me or dress like me or speak like me, where I felt difficulty doing the thing that I encouraged everybody else to do. I had difficulty being authentically me. The best decision I ever made was to prioritize me, step away from that lovely six-figure, handsome figure job, put me and my family first, seek out a therapist, and heal out loud, unapologetically, on my own terms, to the point where it ultimately cost me, probably from going back to a corporate environment, because people were like, look at her out there just publicly sharing her story. That's not how people heal from mental health conditions. Look at her traveling to other countries. That's not how people heal from mental health conditions. I determine what's best for me. Mental health has different faces, and I know Pam and Michelle know that. Mental health has different faces. People may not look like they have a mental health condition, and it is not up to us to judge. My last words are to people who are listening to this, your platform, Dr. Angela, is to make sure they prioritize themselves and protect their mental well-being at all costs. We have a lot of celebrities who are stepping out there. We are having a lot of people who are openly saying, I've had enough. I need to put me first. I need to prioritize self-care. One of the things that we have done wrong that we're getting better at, we used to applaud people when they were doing 90 things. We used to applaud that Black woman. Oh my goodness, look at her. She's a working woman. She's taking care of her kids. She's putting out the trash. She's doing the laundry. She's coming to the bake sale. She's doing the Girl Scout, and she's doing cheerleading practice. But how many times have we applauded that woman, said, whoa, look at her prioritize herself? We need to do more of that. We need to do more of championing people like Simone Biles, who say, you know what? I'm going to step back. Even with unpopular opinion, when people think that when the whole world is watching and I'm going to lead a parade of what it means to put me first, then I'm going to come back with a vengeance, honey, and win the gold. We need to do more of that. So my message is to prioritize ourselves and put our mental health first, and not be stuck or stagnant or held back because of stigma or rejection or judgment.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Dr. Michelle, any final words?
Yeah. So when I saw, when I heard Pam share about being in mental health, and Dr. Rhonda, I'm over here like, yeah, I was a mental health clinician too. And I think that, when we talk about our things that we go through, it is so important to share it, because the Bible says that people overcome by the power of the testimony. And for so many years, centuries, decades, we've held on to our struggle, and it's just been our struggle. But we are in an age, as they indicate, where, the more we verbalize what we are going through, we, one, seek the help for it, but we're also able to show other women that, hey, I've been through that. So Pastor Pam, I'm giving all kinds of titles about Pastor Pam. I was just with a Pastor Pam this weekend, but Miss Pam, shared that, she's not all the way there because it's a process. Well, somebody needs to hear that, because they're thinking they're supposed to walk in perfect wholeness, but it's a process to get healed. I've been through a lot of things, but I believe that those things give me the strength and the resiliency that I have to tell people, no, I don't care what you're going through. You still can make it, sister. I don't care what you're dealing with. I don't care what you feel like, has you backed into a corner. If I can go through this, and this, you can overcome. And so people do overcome by our testimony. But one last thing I wanted to share, even when we talk about prosperity in the sense of the word, I talk about pivoting to prosper, but prosperity doesn't just mean money. It means wholeness. in every single area of your life. That means your mental, your emotional, your financial, your relational, so prosperity, when we truly, truly understand that word, it means that, girl, I'm whole in all areas of my life, right? I've been broken, but I'm whole now. And I've allowed myself, especially for those of us that are believers, I've allowed myself to get back on the wheel, and I've allowed the potter to mold me and shape me so I can get back out there and I can go and be about his business. So it is so important. And I'm glad we brought this up, because if we don't address our mental, we perpetuate all kinds of cycles of deficiency and lack and brokenness and defeat and anxiety. But we've got to talk about it. And I think that we're in an era now where it's okay to verbalize that you're dealing with some marital issues and that you're sitting on somebody's couch. It's okay to talk about, my children are dealing with a drug addiction and we're overcoming that. It's okay to talk about it, because when we do, we normalize it. And when we normalize it, we embrace and take hold of the power that we gain from coming through on the other side of it.
I absolutely love it, love it, love it, love it, love
Can
it.
I share one thing?
Yes.
So I just want to share this. Like you were saying, that we need to get this out and make people comfortable. The hardest thing is to realize that it's not going to be popular with some family members, and you've got to find it here. Like Dr. Rhonda said, you got to prioritize yourself. My book was not popular among my family members. I lost family members because they said, there's no way that your mom could have did that. Well, you weren't behind the door. You were on the other side of the door, but this is my story. That's why it says my story. It's not your story. It's not the path you walked. It was the one I walked. So what I went through was not popular with others. So it's might be hard for some to say I'm not okay, because they're still concerned about how it's going to affect those that are around them if they say what they're feeling.
That is so absolutely true. Look, I love it. I thank everyone for listening in tonight. We are closing up day number 4. So go ahead and like, share, tag, all those amazing things. Don't forget to get your copy of the Her Fire magazine. Look, before I leave, I want you guys to know that you are phenomenal, that it's not too late to own your story. It's not too late to rise up. It's not too late to level up. It's not too late to make the contact to your next season of your life. With my sister, whatever it is, just know that you are amazing. You were born amazing. You were born great. You were born anointed. You were born gifted. No situation that you have ever can go through that make God say that I can't use her, that she's not qualified. Just know that you got a voice, and it's time for the world to hear your story, not for self-glory, but for the glory of God. Just know you are a woman, we are women, and we're making her story. You guys, we will see you tomorrow, same place, same time. You guys be blessed.